So we have a problem. I didn't plan on recording today, and I definitely didn't plan on recording any kind of like serious matter video. I usually do gaming stuff or usually do something gaming related or something like funny, or I don't know. I usually don't do a whole lot of serious stuff, but I do when it's a pretty major issue. There were some other issues like months back, like with like abortion and things like that I wanted to do, and I never got around to it. So I do plan on doing serious things. I just like to have my research done and all that, so I don't make a fool out of myself beforehand and give opinion. It's just there's a lot more that goes into things like that. But anyways. I was just being kind of a lazy sack of crap today a little bit. Like, got up late, just kind of lounging around. Like, I was on the couch and just scrolling through my phone. I check my email, and then on my emails I get things from Quora that pop up, and then so sometimes I'll click on those, read about those, and then from there, just like how YouTube does, like where you're watching videos and you could be watching like UFC highlights, and the next thing you know, you're watching something about how Care Bears are made or something, like just stuff like that. So like I was scrolling on Quora, clicked on, I forget what it was, but clicked on something, and I just kept going from there, like 10, 15 minutes, like just kept going, scrolling, looking through stuff. Anyways, this pops up, and at first, nothing too like crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. Like I said, there's a bunch of different things I come up with, like about eating healthy. I mean, like it has everything. It's basically how Yahoo used to be, like with ridiculous questions and stuff. That's basically what Quora is now. You could have anything from serious answers from serious questions to serious answers to just crazy like off the wall questions to crazy off the wall answers. So. You get anything and everything. But anyways, this pops up, and like I said at first, nothing like too crazy or anything. But in itself, so I'll read it to you. It says, from our Vietnam trip, our guide popped out of a Viet Cong, that's what VC means, Viet Cong tunnel, to jokingly scare the vets. Dad yelled at him for 10 minutes. So off the gate, that's pretty bad, right? Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Obviously, no idea what the circumstance. I don't know, like if this is kind of like. I mean, it looks real. That's a small ass tunnel. So I mean, that looks legit as fuck. So that's the only thing I got to base it off of, and just that alone, I mean, that makes it seem real to me. So again, I wasn't there. I don't know the vibe. I don't know anything, but just off of like that act and that's done, that is pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie, like that's something that you probably shouldn't do. And I don't know who that guy is or anything. He's some tour guide, but something that I wouldn't be cool with either, and that he should be able to understand. I don't think anything too crazy, but just talk to him about it, like, hey man, like just don't do that next time. Like, whatever. Like it's that kind of a big deal, but not like a super big deal that he should be in like a whole lot of trouble or whatever. But just like he needs to kind of know that kind of crossed the line, right? So moving on from that, I'm reading the comments. This is why I'm making this video. So I'm reading the comments, and then this person says, that's pretty irresponsible of the guide. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a real thing. He could have died. So that's kind of what I said. That's pretty true. Like, it's kind of not cool to do that anyways, just because, I mean, like some people might think it's funny, but just because like how you guys know when there's history of stuff and like what happened before, there's kind of borders on what's jokes and what's not. But when it's kind of regarding things of that nature, it's very, very hard to joke about things. Like, it's possible, but it's got to be done right, and it's it's hit or miss. So we already discussed that. We're already moving on from that. I keep reading the comments, right? So this says, this other person says the Vietnamese lived in those tunnels for years while tons of bombs were dropped on them. Their PTSD would be a lot worse, right? Which is true. So like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming this guy, wasn't fighting, but like there were vets that he scared, apparently, from what this says, that, so obviously they were vets, so obviously they did fight. So yeah, it's like I said, it's hit or miss, but like in this case, both parties, as far as you know, us Americans and then like, you know, Vietnamese, obviously both parties were involved in that shit. So like obviously, like I don't know how to word that, but that's where it kind of makes it okay, because since he's Vietnamese and he's the one like kind of doing the joke, that's kind of what makes it okay, because like he also, well, like they also kind of experience things. So that's where it just kind of gets borderline. But yeah, I mean, that's where you gotta, you know, kind of respect both sides, you know, like both parties, you know, struggled then and now with things, you know, from grief and PTSD, and obviously, you know, back then when the war was happening and the soldiers on both sides, you know. So moving on from that, keep reading the comments, right? And then this is where it gets fucked up and why I'm making this video. Like, I guess the point of this video is just like, I don't know, try to shine light on people of that things like this aren't okay. Like I don't understand what goes through your head, like how people can be so messed up and so cruel and mean. But hopefully, I don't know. I mean, if I see more things, you know, pop up, I'll make things. I don't really go out looking and doing research for things like this, but I mean, I could make a series on this or whatever, like if I see things, if things cross me, but I usually don't like go out of my way to look for things like this. This literally just popped up in front of me and I felt like I had to make a video on it. But yeah, I guess the point is to just try to kind of empower everybody and try to get people to just be fucking humans to each other, man. No matter what your race, ethnicity, etc. Like no matter where you're from, like we're all in this together, man. We all suffer in different ways. You know, we're all fighting to survive. We're all fighting to, you know, be the best that we can be and live the best lives we can be, man. And that's, you know, if we're arguing and fighting with each other, you know, it's just going to make it harder. And obviously governments are going to do that for us, so we don't need to further that. You know, the governments are what goes to war, you know, and obviously we have soldiers that do that too, but nobody really, like, they fight for other reasons. They don't really fight because they want to, you know, harm or, you know, do that to anybody else, because it's the soldiers aren't in the wrong. It's the government you're fighting. You're fighting the government, and the soldiers are just the ones that are fighting for them. So those are the ones that, you know, get hurt and killed and injured, you know, but nobody besides the government trying to gain something, oil, money, territory, whatever it is, like nobody besides the government wants to fucking fight. So, you know, just leave that to the government, man. Like, and we all just need to like try to stop being dickheads, man. But anyways, continuing on, right? This is the reason I'm making the video. So this comment says, Asians sure do love their fucking tunnels. Like, bro, what? Like, for one, this isn't as bad. If it was left right there, you could argue that's a joke. It's a fucked up joke, but you could argue that's a joke, right? like, but it gets so much worse. It gets so much worse than this. And this is all already public, so I'm not hiding nothing. I don't know how shit like that works anyways, but this is already all like on public. You can find it yourself on Quora, so I don't feel like I need to hide anybody. So, you know, that's on them. You know, they shouldn't make comments and stuff if, you know, if they don't want to be out there and exposed. So, you know, that's not on me. It's already public. So, and then this comment, I'm assuming, I'm not supposed to assume, but I'm assuming it is from a Vietnamese person. I'm not too sure, but just going off the name, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't really matter. But anyways, says, please respect our previous generations. And since they used our, not like, you know, Vietnamese, you know, since they said our, I'm assuming. But please respect our previous generations had to suffer from pain that the U.S. brought to our land. And So I mean, you know, that's all fair. She's, or I think it's a girl, but they're just saying to, you know, just show some respect, like not to fucking be a dickhead, right? So I don't have any issues with that there. And then the same person that says the tunnel comment says, which land? The land we nuked the fuck out of, which just mean bombed. Like I don't think we dropped any nukes. I could be wrong. I'm not great on history. I don't know everything. But the land we nuked the fuck out of, or the land we were fucking your people up on in battle. For one, this is besides the point, but for one, it was a bloodshed on both ends, and it was highly, highly, highly fucked up on both ends, like with raping, like, I mean, like everything. It was gruesome. It was probably the most gruesome war that's been recorded in recent history, at least as far as like the past century. As far as I'm aware, again, I'm no history expert. I don't know a whole lot, but I know it was fucking gruesome for both ends, right? Like the guerrilla warfare against us Americans, because we were invading their land, and they were crazily like skilled at setting up traps and booby trapping and just hiding like from like the tunnels and everything. Like they were insane with that, like, and it fucked us up. And then I'm pretty sure both parties, well, like I said, were raping civilians. I'm pretty sure it was both us Americans, but I'm pretty sure their own was, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure both of them was doing things like that nature, like just messing with civilians and shit too. And it was just, it was fucked up on so many levels for both parties. So it's, for one, that comment's invalid because we got fucked up as well. But that's not even the point of it, and we don't even need to go there. Like there's no point of even going there. But that's just rude. Even if we didn't get messed up, that's just rude as fuck to say anyways, man. Like it's been over, it's been done with. Nobody, like I said, even people that fight back in the day, it was a little bit different. I think people, their eyes weren't as open as much back then, so they probably did have some more passion and shit to fight than what they, and then, you know, after that, like, just there's more media, there's more like everybody, government, everything's getting more exposed nowadays because there's just more cameras, there's more people, like there's just more exposing of everybody now. So people's eyes are kind of more open. There's still a lot of people that don't have their eyes open, but it's a lot more than what it used to be. But still, nobody wants to really go and you know, hurt and injure and do that to other people, man. And then, like, you know, we sure as hell don't want it brought back up, like about the troubles and everything. So that's just a really fucked up comment, regardless of what happened or anything. It's just, and then the same person that said about the respecting said they died because of Americans, and you talk like a child with no education, or maybe you're taught like that. Poor you. That's a fair comment. They're staying pretty level-headed. They're being accurate. Like, they wouldn't have died if we didn't go there. So they're not even coming back with anything disrespectful. They're just stating facts. They're being the bigger person, right? Like, I have no issues with that comment whatsoever. And then moving on, the same one that's just being disrespectful at the gate said, sorry my family had to fuck your family up back then, but it had to happen. I can't even come up with words, man. It's just so insane to me, like that you have thoughts like this even pop up in your head to act this way. Like, I don't understand. Like, obviously there's a lot of other issues. There's a lot of, like, I know that people are crazy. I know that people are fucked up. Like, I understand. And there's a lot of different issues besides this one and everything. And, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get how you can be so fucking rude and disrespectful and shit. Like, I don't know, man. It baffles me, but, just complete ignorance, man. Like, and for one, you're not even, it doesn't even regard you anyways. Like, you had nothing to do with it, and if you did and you were flexing, then that's fucked up in itself, but you had nothing to do with it anyways. So you're trying to take credit of something that you didn't even do, and there's nothing to even take credit for because it's a fucked up situation anyways. Like, there's no credit to be had to anybody, just because nobody looks at it that way. They look at it as like, yeah, that was a fucked up thing in history that happened. Like, let's try to fucking move on from it, and let's try to fucking move on. But I don't know, man, and like I said, both parties got fucked up, so her facts aren't even right anyways. And I don't know, just being ignorant and like she's better, or like they're better, looks like a woman, I don't know, but like they're better than I don't know. I don't understand, man. I think that was it. And then they say the law cause and effect will come soon. And then this one is like how I've been saying. Oh no, that's not it. That's not even it yet. Actually, I forgot. Because that's already so fucked up to me. I forgot. But I'm telling y'all, this is insane to me. But yeah, this is kind of like how I've been saying. This other person that hasn't commented yet says, seems like you don't know how soldiers view wars. Unlike people like you who don't know the pain and suffering people can experience while deployed, nobody wants to participate in a war, especially when they have a loved one. War is only a win-lose for the country, which is true for the country, like the government, but a lose-lose to the units. Like, there's no winning, because both people suffer a lot of traumatizing events. They like PTSD. There's so many different things that they can come back with if they make it out alive, right? And that's just mentally. There's obviously other physical shit that can happen. They can lose legs. They can get shot. Like there's so many other physical and mental things that can happen if they even make it out alive, for one. But then also, like, there's people that are going to die too on both parties. So even if you kind of win the war, the soldiers never win the fucking war, because they're always losing, and they're always sacrificing themselves, mentally, physically, and everything. And there's always bloodshed on both ends. So the soldiers never win the fucking war. It's literally a war between like the governments and the like politics and shit. That's really all, like, the only people that can win and fucking lose in that situation. And then if you can see the grief that people go through from the after effects of war, then I hope you can apologize to the other guy. And obviously the other person's not going to do that, but yeah, that's straight facts. That's what I've been trying to say. So I'm glad somebody here is kind of clear-headed. And then, so I guess that's just their profile picture that's about to come up right here. But this person didn't think they already said enough, so then they have to say the nerve to say this. Looks like someone got hit with Agent Orange, and I don't know. It looks like a filter to me, or like she's just being silly and like smashing her face up against glass or something. I don't know, like just pressing her. Like, I have no idea. Like, it looks like a filter or whatever. I don't know. Either way, if that person like is affected by something or not, like, why the fuck would you say something like that, man? Like, that's not funny in the slightest. Like, that's not a joke that's funny at all, like, to make in the slightest. And it's fucked up either way. Like, if like that's actually the case, that they have some sort of disability going on, like, it's fucked up. And if they don't, it's fucked up. So either way, it's fucked up to say. And then these comments, I guess, are kind of just like, didn't even read these other ones, because I thought it was going to keep continuing, and I was hoping that more people would fucking bash on this person, but I don't know if they didn't read these previous comments or what. But so this is where this whole conversation ends. But I don't know, man. I just don't get people. I read it and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I know that messed up things happen all the time. I know there's constantly like messed up people that say messed up things every single day, but like, you know, this one just happened to come across me today, and I don't know, it just fires me up, man. Like I don't get it. You know, there's people that struggle, you know, with, I just don't get it. You know, life's already hard, man, and we don't need to make it harder on anybody. Like, it's already a challenge to just fucking like go through every day and to fucking figure things out, and to, I don't know, life's already a challenge, man. We don't need to make it any more challenging or difficult on anybody. So I hope to not find any other things like this and make any other videos like this, because then that means that there's you know, other people and, you know, events that are fucked up. But you know it's gonna happen. Like, there's, you know, hopefully the world can become better and all that, but it's never gonna be perfect. So there's always gonna be some shit. So you know, whenever I find something or I see something, whatever, I'm gonna try to bring it to attention and awareness. But I don't know, I just hope that we can start uniting together a lot more than what we are, man. I just don't get it. You know, I really don't get it. But that's all I'm gonna have for today. Hopefully you guys can take something positive away from this, and just don't be like this person in the comments right here. And I don't know, hopefully we can get somewhere sometime eventually with this, and just stop being dickheads and start actually like working together and shit. So that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.